You won't be able to study in Germany if you don't get your APS in time. That might sound like clickbait, but ever since the APS certificate was introduced in November 2022, it has become one of the most important documents Indian students need to study in Germany. And if you don't apply in time, you might miss the intake. So if you're confused about how to apply for the APS certificate, how long does it take, and what documents you need to send, then this video is for you. I'll walk you through everything step by step, including a live demo of the application form so that you don't make any mistakes. Let's get started. The Akademische Prüfstelle or APS is a certificate that proves your Indian educational documents are authentic and that you're eligible to study in German universities. Since November 2022, it's required by all universities in Germany and it is also mandatory for applying to the German student visa. But why was it introduced? Because of the increasing number of fake and forged documents which were coming out of India. The APS certificate verifies everything: your 10th, 12th mark sheets, your bachelor's transcripts, and also your degree. And yes, there is a fee. 18,000 Indian rupees for the entire verification process. Now the documents you need to send to the APS depend on your category and there are detailed checklists for each one of them on the APS website. You'll find separate checklists for masters in Germany, for students applying to Studienkolleg, for students applying for bachelor's with JEE mains and advanced, and also for students who are going after 1 year of bachelor's in India. But keep in mind that APS is not for everyone. You don't need an APS certificate if first you are applying for a PhD or a postdoc in Germany, second you are going to study a non-German degree, and third if your entire education was under a non-Indian board like the IB, or you have completed your entire education outside India. The APS certificate is very important, just like your educational documents, your admit letter, your SOP, and of course your blocked account confirmation letter. The blocked account amount of 11,904 euros or roughly 11.6 lakhs is a huge amount, so you need a blocked account provider which is safe, secure, and trustworthy. We have recommended Expatrio to all of our students and their value package offers a lot of benefits. Firstly, you don't pay any blocked account setup fee as you get the 69 euros directly as cashback after you activate your value package. You also get 90 euros cashback with the TK Flex health insurance. You get free incoming travel insurance worth up to 95 euros, which is mandatory for your visa. You also get a free Expatrio bank account for all your banking needs in Germany, and you also get a free digital debit card. And finally, you get a free digital Isaac card, which is worth 18 euros, and it provides you a lot of offers and discounts. As you can see with Expatrio value package, you pay less and get more. So if you're looking to open your blocked account, you can go to the first link in the description or use code Bharat in Germany at checkout. Now before I talk you through the application form, let's talk about when you should apply for the APS certificate because timing is everything. For master students, some universities require APS during application, so you should start applying when you receive your 6th or 7th semester transcripts along with your other educational documents. For bachelor students, the timeline depends on your 12th results or your first year bachelor's results. You can only apply to APS, Studienkolleg, or even to your universities only after you receive your official results. If possible, ask your school or your university to fast track your results because it will save you a lot of time. Okay, now let's fill out the application form and you need two things before you get started. First, you need a scanned passport photo in JPEG or JPEG format and it should be under 30 KB. Second, have 18,000 Indian rupees ready because you have to pay them at the end of the application form. You can use UPI, credit card, debit card, but I'll recommend that you should pay it online. First, you have to come to apsindia.de and once you're on the website, you have to go to the apply section and you have to create an account. I'm using some dummy details, but when you are filling these, just make sure you enter the right details with proper information without making any mistakes. Once you create an account, you have to start filling your personal details and these are pretty simple. First, you have to upload a photo of yours in JPEG format. I'm just using a random photo from the internet, but make sure you use the right photo and it also should be under 30 KB. Then you have to fill your name, last name, your email. Then you have to enter your nationality. For most of you, it's going to be Indian, so just fill Indian, your gender, your date of birth, your place of birth, and then you have to select if you are an Indian citizen or not. Once you click on yes, it will ask for your Aadhaar number, your passport number, your phone contact number, so your mobile number, and you can also provide an alternative contact number. And this is because APS can call you for some verification details, and you can provide someone's mobile number like your mom, your dad, or someone who lives with you. Then you have to enter your address, your city, your state, your country, and of course your zip code. I have obviously put some dummy details, but when you fill these things, make sure your email, your contact number, and your address and everything else is proper, because this is the only way APS can contact you in case they need some extra documents or they need to verify something. Once done, you have to click on next, and it will load up the education details where you have to fill your class 10 details, class 12, and diploma if you have done a diploma after 10th or after 12th, depending on your background. Once you fill your details, you can also mention the JEE score if you have attempted the exam. If not, you can just click on next, and it will take you the education details second part where you have to fill your bachelor's, master's, and if you have done some post-graduation, postgraduate diploma, or any of those courses. Here you first have to mention if you are still studying in your bachelor's or if you have completed your bachelor's, what is your university name, what is your college name, then what course you have pursued. Is it a B.Tech? Is it a BSc? What is the major? Then you have to put in the duration of your degree. Is it 3 years or 4 years? And what is the specialization, which is going to be majors? So for example, if you have done BE or Bachelor's in Engineering, you will put BE here. And in subject specialization, you will put, let's say, computer science, or it could be electronics and telecommunications, depending on what is your major. Then you have to put your passing year and your bachelor's percentage or your bachelor's CGPA. Only one of these things is required. You don't have to fill both of these things. And then most importantly, if your university has a portal where they can check the results or they upload the results, you have to provide the portal's login ID and the password, and also your professor's email, so that the APS authorities can contact someone from the university in case they are not able to contact the university directly. Make sure it's an official college email for your professor, or else APS won't be able to contact them if it's @gmail.com. Then you have to fill master's education details if you have done your master's, and if you have done any additional degree or diploma, you have to fill in those as well. Then it will ask you for a test TS score, and this is only for students who is applying for bachelor's in Germany. So if you are applying for master's, you don't have to fill these details, but if you are applying for bachelor's and if you have given the test TS exam, you just have to put your core test result, your subject test result, what specialization or what module did you choose for your subject specific test, and on what date did you actually give your exam. This is optional, by the way, so even if you are applying for bachelor's and you have given your test TS exam, it is not mandatory to send your test TS result to the APS authorities. Then you have the language details where you have to select which certification you have done for English or German. So if you are applying for an English taught program, you have to provide IELTS or TOEFL, and if you are applying for a German taught program, you have to provide one of these certifications. Again, this is optional, and you don't have to send your IELTS or your Goethe result to APS because it is not mandatory. If you still want to do it, you can just mention your IELTS result, or you can mention your Goethe certification level and your Goethe score. But in general, as I said before, it is not mandatory to send your test TS result and your language certifications to the APS authorities. Finally, you'll come to the payment details section, and I'll recommend that you don't pay offline. You can pay online through the CC Avenue portal using UPI or credit or debit card. And in general, you don't have to fill anything here. You just have to click on CC Avenue, make sure you click the CAPTCHA and click on submit. Once you complete the payment, you have to click on login and make sure you use the same credentials you used in the first section, and then you have to click on my account. Once you click on my account, you will be taken to the APS dashboard. This is how the dashboard looks like, and the most important thing you have to do here is go to application download and click on this cloud icon, which will download your PDF of your application form, which you have to send to the APS authorities along with your other documents. Additionally, you also have to send this student authorization letter. This is basically a consent form and some declarations. You just have to fill your name, your date of birth, the date, place, and your signature, print it out and then attach this with all your documents which you are going to send to the APS authorities. This is more or less the entire APS procedure, and it is very simple. You just have to make sure that you fill in the right details, you attach the proper documents, and you send it away to APS after completing the payment. Now here's how the process works once you fill the application form and pay the verification fee. First, you have to print and sign the application form and also attach the student authorization letter, which is on the checklist page. It's a basic declaration and it's mandatory to include. Now take your application form, your authorization letter, your educational documents, and send it via post to this address in New Delhi. Once received, the APS authorities will start verifying your documents, and this process takes around 2 to 6 weeks. And once the registration is approved, you'll get your APS certificate on your registered email ID, and it looks something like this. When you receive it, don't forget to check your name, your qualifications, your final scores, and everything else, because you don't want any errors or spelling mistakes in that certificate. And that was everything you need to know about the entire APS certificate process. Just make sure that you enter all the information correctly, especially your email ID and phone number, because that is the only way the APS authorities can contact you. And in case your APS process is taking too much time, you can ask your university or your professor to send an email to the APS authorities with all your details, and we have a free format if you want to do that. It's in the description. And before you go, there are a lot of free resources in the description, including a university shortlisting format, a packing checklist, a document checklist, which will help you out massively if you're applying to Germany for the winter intake or the next summer intake. And if you have any questions on the APS certificate, put them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.